Can I start now?
Yeah,
Okay.
can you hear me? Do you need audio?
Oh, I think it can record.
Okay, all right.
Okay. Last week, I attended a Bitcoin hackathon and met many developers. While most agree that Bitcoin is great, but they find it challenging to profitable business using Bitcoin. As a result, they are turning their attention to altcoins or ordinals. As a Bitcoin core developer, could you share some words of advice for these developers?
Yeah, it's always easy to get a job from people that want you to scam with them. It's very and that's essentially what they're doing. Most of these altcoin companies have some significant pre-mine that they're using to fund this stuff. So it's kind of like getting a grant from a government or something like that. It's lucrative while it lasts, but there's a pretty good chance that it won't last very long. So my suggestion is to actually provide value. Most of if you go and create some sort of trading platform for altcoins or ordinals or something, first of all, it's not going to last all that long. However long you think it'll be shorter than that. But the worst thing is that, morally speaking, you're not providing value to anybody, right? Like you're not doing anything that makes anyone's life better. You are providing a gambling vehicle, possibly. You're outright scamming them in some other cases. So my suggestion is to think long term, because short term, yeah, it is harder to find a Bitcoin job. But if you're actually providing value in some Bitcoin way, you're going to do way better long term, and that's what you should be focused on.
Okay, and second, what would you say to people who invest in altcoin or stock to accumulate Bitcoin? In your opinion, what's the best way to accumulate Bitcoin?
Yeah, so trading to increase your Bitcoin balance is generally not a great idea. First of all, most people lose. Like, the trading game is very rigged, and it's based on figuring out like where the crowd is going, and by definition, most of the crowd follows too late, right? It's like any sort of scheme. Now, there are people that are very good at it. I don't think they're necessarily providing that much value. My suggestion is that to sustain yourself over the long run, 10 years, 20 years or something like that, you need to figure out something that will actually provide value to other people. So whatever it is that you're good at, go and do, right? If you're a good painter, go paint stuff and sell it to people, right? Like however way in which you provide value to others, that's the sustainable path. If you're doing some sort of weird gambling trick, you might do well for a while, but generally what happens to those people is that they make a bad trade, they go bankrupt, and you don't recover once you go to zero. Yeah. So this is not a good idea. Just go the slow and steady path. Provide value to people, save in Bitcoin, and you'll be good to go, right? And maybe you're not going as fast as some of your peers that are doing altcoins, but they'll have their day, right, where they'll crash too, right? And that's when you'll emerge, right? Slow and steady. Be the turtle, not the rabbit.
Yeah. And third one, many people claim they can appreciate Bitcoin using hot topics like Web3 or AI or NFT, and they market these ideas as the next Bitcoin. Do you think this is possible? Or if not, could you explain why?
Yeah, it's not possible. And the reason is because you're losing the thing that makes Bitcoin interesting, the thing that makes Bitcoin worthwhile, and that's decentralization. You add any of these things and launch something, it's still centralized. And this has been true of every altcoin that's ever existed. Okay, most people have no idea where altcoins came from. Do you know what IXCoin is? Do you know what Guyscale is? Do you know what Tenebrix is? You've not heard of any of these, but these are some of the earliest altcoins from 2011. They're dead now. Why? Because it was centralized. It was never decentralized. And that's the fate of almost every coin. You look up coins from 2013, 2017, even 2020, 21, 22. you're going to see a large graveyard of coins that promise different things. Oh, we're going to be Web3, we're going to do DeFi, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. First of all, they don't keep their promises because people are fallible. And if you've already made your money selling tokens to people that believed you, you have no incentive to actually deliver. Vast majority of them don't do much beyond that, but even for those that do, they don't keep their promises, and they keep rolling off of marketing and trying to deceive new people and getting, sort of like artificial excitement around such things. So it doesn't work. It hasn't worked. It hasn't worked in the 13 years of altcoin history that we've seen. So just don't bother with it. Just stick with the one thing that's is like, are Bitcoin returns not good enough for you? Right? Seriously, if you look at the last 15 years, the annual return on Bitcoin has been something like 74%. Now, any investment professional would say 74% is amazing. If that's not good enough for you, something is wrong with you, not Bitcoin.
Okay, thank you. The last one, and I think this is the most important question. Many people, especially students, feel discouraged from the start because they believe it is now impossible to accumulate even 1 Bitcoin or even 1 million sat with their current abilities. So could you offer some words of encouragement or advice for these individuals?
Okay, you do not have enough confidence in your own earning ability, is basically what I'm hearing. It's either that or you are discouraged because people got in before you and you are envying them. Now, this requires some internal work, but envying other people does not really make you happy. And it's actually toxic to your soul in many ways. So I would start questioning my own assumptions about like what makes me happy. If it's always just sort of beating your neighbor, you're never going to be happy because there's always going to be somebody that has more Bitcoin than you, right? Like you get to 1 Bitcoin, you're going to be jealous of the guy that has 10. And when you get to 10 Bitcoin, you're going to be jealous of the guy that has 100 and so on. That's just how envy works. That's not a path to happiness. The way that savings helps you is that it helps you get your goals, right? It's not about the amount of money you have, it's about the things that you want to achieve. Now, everyone has dreams. The thing about fiat money is that it sort of takes them away because it makes you forget about them and think about something else completely. The thing that Bitcoin brings back is this ability to save, right? For the future, for something, for doing something that you've always wanted to do. So say you've always wanted to make a blockbuster movie, right? Now you can work in the movie industry for 30 years, hopefully work your way up to director, go and beg lots of people for money to finance your film, and then finally make your film at like 60 if you're lucky and have managed to do the political thing and get there. That's one way. Or you can save in Bitcoin, work whatever job you can, and once the amount of savings is significant enough to actually fund your movie, now you can go chase your dream. Which path do you think is going to be better for your soul, right? The one of saving and doing the thing that, whatever you can do to go and make money, that's what you do because you have a dream, you have a purpose. Instead of looking at the money as the end goal, it's a means to something else. And that's what I would encourage a lot of people that are sort of like discouraged by, my friend that started 3 years ago. Instead of thinking that way, think in terms of goals, dreams, visions, right? Something that you want to achieve. Your dream is not the same as your friend's dream. Go and if you want to travel the world, if you want to have a big family, if you want to go and make a great company or whatever it is, go do that instead of thinking about, I don't have as much as this other person.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.